Hello, this is Grant Mulder, and this is my submission for the app. So, to start off with the live demo, or I'll start off with this. So, to start off with the Handlebar Labs showing the chat app is complete, all the check marks. And for the demo, I had some problems. I couldn't really get this thing to run. It keeps giving me errors. But I do have the code. So going through the code, starting with the Firebase index, I wanted to show that it takes in the Firebase from from Google, sorry, and then it checks for the sign in, and it shows the sign in anonymously because we set that up on the Firebase, and then it goes over to the different messages where it reads the ID, and it just shows the thread, the message. It goes down again to the Firebase where it takes in the threads and it'll put out the late or the newest messages with the text, and it'll show the time. And then just going through it again, it'll take the ID and assign that to the user ID, and their display name will be the username along the information in the Firebase. For creating a new thread, I have it take the latest messages and make the text the name, and then they created, so then it would say who created, and then the message, and it shows where it is created at with the dedicated time. And same for this one, for the message rather than the message threads, the actual message itself. For the listening to threads, showing just that the latest one was created or open, marking that it's been the last read or the latest read, so that removes that and it makes it true. And this is for the tracking in the Firebase. So going to the screens, this one takes from the Firebase as well. It checks for on the state change for when they sign in. It will navigate to the messaging portion, and it will check to remove the listener as well. So going over to the part where the messages are, it comes from the Firebase as well, from the imports. So this does the mounting for the threads, and what it does is it listens to it with the listen to messages and shows whether it's read or not, and it shows when it's input into the Firebase. So it shows the text, or it creates the ID with the doc ID, and then the text and created at with the new time, like what we've been doing for the created at, and then it's put for the Firebase. And same with the name of the person. And going further for that, for the marking the last read thread, what it does is it just checks for the most recent, or the last, specifically the last read message, and it'll set, this is for the constants for the text and thread, and it just makes it return based off of the send or the user. Going into the new thread file, it will go through and this is for the press for the button, and it takes it's for the name and the loading for the new thread. So when they want to make a new thread, it'll take the press of the button, and this is just for the thread name and then creating it. And then for the actual threads, this is where it removes the listener to show that it's been read. It shows the name, the ID, the latest message, and it pushes down to set the state of the actual thread tracking into the data. It also goes down to the removing of the thread listener for showing that it will unmount. And the tracking even further here for tracking the thread and the ID, showing that it's been last read and it's the latest text messages. Then this is just for the returning the flat list, showing the items, and then the message with the thread and the item. And for the index for the app section, this is where it goes through and initializes. It takes the new threads, the threads and messages all imported from these. And this is where it starts to go through the screen, shows the different title like on the top, and then the icon for adding one. And this navigates over to the thread. This will have the head title as the new thread for when the person clicks the button to make a new thread. Having the close button for the closing it, and switching with the screen initialization and the messaging with the model. And I mean, other than that, the rest was all just for the iOS stuff. And like I was saying, for this, I couldn't really get it to go. This was, for some reason, it would run properly and it wouldn't allow this to take in. I could get it to go there, but it wouldn't continue past that. And that's pretty much it. So thank you.